Oh man, so early. I feel like I'm still dreaming. That was the worst intro ever. Can we do this
I
again?
see I see
Can,
what you did there.
let's start this over. Here, let's get over here to the show. Um, Gonna give me a second here. There we go. What's up, everybody? This is a little special edition. I guess it's sort of Gamescast Live. It's sort of something. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna watch Media Molecule do their demonstration of Dreams VR. This is something we've been looking forward to for a while, haven't we, AJ?
Oh man, I am so excited, and we have two different articles while we lead up to the launch. There's two different articles, one from Upload VR, one from Push Square, that we're going to run through real quick, where they sat down with creative director Marcos Healy, and yeah, we're going to take a look at some of the things before we get to see the actual gameplay itself.
Dude, do you know when I was searching for some stuff online last night, I came across a viewer takeover from like way back in the day, like Midnight Gamescast viewer takeover, over 2 years old. And the title of it was "When Should We Expect Dreams VR?" So they've been
Man,
talking about this for a very, very long time. Like for some reason in my head, they've only been talking about it for like a year or so. But man, they've been talking about it for a very long time. So this is absolutely insane.
well, this game's been in development for 10 years.
Yeah, right.
So, I know they're excited to get it out to us as much as we are to play it. And like I said, first of all, I want to say welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us this fine morning. Really exciting times, man. Really exciting times.
Yeah. Oh my god. And it would have been just regularly exciting, right? If we didn't get all this information yesterday, it would have just been like a normal level of excitement where we'd be like, oh, here comes Dreams. Here comes Dreams PlayStation VR support. And even better, we saw this little teaser where they showed you with move controllers pulling levers and kind of doing typical things you would do in, I don't know, maybe like in some indie looking environments, right? Like nothing crazy. Uh, and then the shit kind of hit the fan yesterday.
It did, which I'm actually kind of glad because,
Yeah.
like, I probably, if they would have said what we're about to go through on like, if we would have saw that live, I probably would have screamed and blown everybody's ears out. So
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of glad that we got this news beforehand. But yeah, and Robbie B, the English Game Cat, says, I'm sure it's just Mark Healy. It is Mark Healy. I called him by his Twitter handle. I apologize. Uh, but you
Oh,
know,
I wasn't.
Marco.
I don't know why I don't pay attention when people talk. That's an issue. Um, so it's funny. It's funny because you said if we'd done this live or this information was revealed live, you would have like
Right.
screamed and blown everyone's ears. We actually, after we filmed Viewer Takeover last night, you, me, and Dave were still in our conference call, going through
Right.
all the information that had been revealed, and I
Yeah.
mean, we all just like we all were just like everything we just talked about on viewer takeover seems totally irrelevant right now. This is the news, this is the cool stuff, this is the important thing. And I mean, we were just losing our fucking shit just like on a conference call between the three of us, never mind, hanging out with a bunch of cats.
We didn't even make it through. We made it about like 80% through the articles, and we were just like, we got to go. We got to go do something like right now.
Freaking
Like
out.
we went into like panic mode. We're like, this is insane, man. So yeah, so if you guys are ready, we can go ahead and start breaking down these articles. Give a little preview of what we are maybe going to hear and see today, and we'll start with Upload VR and kind of bounce back and forth. But basically, the first of all, this is the big news. We're going to kick things off with. You can play all of Dream's existing content with PSVR.
Right.
Boom.
Which right, that's a mic drop moment. I actually can't believe they revealed that in like just like a an article in an interview, right? It's like
Yep.
this is fucking blowing our minds. This should have been like video on top of video. This should have like blown the internet apart. And in fact, that's exactly what it did to us. It blew our minds. We tried to blow the internet apart. Dude, it's just incredible, incredible. We thought there were going to be so many limitations on this, and this just said, you know what, fuck you guys. There's no limitations. Just do whatever you want to.
Yeah. Now there are some catches with this, which we'll get into, but the majority of it is pretty amazing. And in the Push Square article, where they also interviewed Mark. They basically said that they wanted VR in this game day one, but because they wanted to get something out they wanted to release the game sooner. They went ahead and did that, and then decided to add VR later when it was ready. Because I mean, as you know, that's a huge undertaking. This is a game like this, a creation tool that has been, basically a AAA 10-year project. Um, it's pretty amazing for what this implies for the future. I mean, this thing, especially for the VR user base, this could have some insane legs on it.
Yeah. Now we do just want to clarify. Of course, some people are saying that there's that there are you can disable VR for your levels if you create them, and that's totally true. So when we say everything's playable in VR, if you don't want your level to be playable in VR, you can turn that off, which is great. But the fact remains is like anything that's created in Dreams is technically playable in VR, and I think that's the message we're trying to get across here. So unless it's a content creator that really just like has a very specific vision for their dream, and they said this has to be played on a flat screen, flip that switch.
So on the Push Square article, they ask, how do you plan to surface PSVR content in the game? And he basically said that there's a new tagging options to mark things that are appropriate for VR. So users and creators will be able to put feedback on the game before you select it, and it says like works great for VR or no or non VR, things like that. So that'll make it easier. And as you know, when you're surfing the Dreamiverse, you can search by tags. So you can literally filter and just go to VR or works best with VR, something like that, and it'll bring up the whole list really easily for you.
Excellent. And there's also they're basically saying, if you make these big creations, if things are like really really intricate dreams, obviously you're still working with a PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 Pro, so not everything is going to run super smooth, and we get that, right? We get that. And the thing is if they just said, well, these things are not playable, it would have been like, we would have understood that. But instead they gave us an option, and they said, this thing is not going to run perfectly. Do you want to play it anyway? Like that's
Right.
that's the best option
Yes.
I've never seen in a VR game. Says, hey, we don't recommend you do this, but go ahead. That is the coolest
Right.
option we've never seen before.
So in the upload article, they do talk about this a little bit, as well as actually in both articles they talk about this, and yeah, that he mentions that the games that move really fast and are really stacked with content and textures and detail, the ones that move faster are going to likely be more subject to like struggle with frame rate. And I do know that the game itself does have a pro patch. I don't know in terms of VR support just yet, but the game itself does have some pro patch benefits. So anyone with a pro out there, I know a lot of people with VR do. You might have a little bit better performance than the base console system. But yeah, one of the interesting things is that it will kind of kick you out if it's really really struggling. It'll kick you out, but it gives you an option, like you said, to override it and be like, no, I'm cool with this. Like, for me and stuff. It's really going to maybe test our VR legs a little bit. But I'm just excited. I'll take a little bit of a frame rate drop to get to experience something in this fully immersed way.
Yeah, these are not your typical VR legs.
No.
When we talk about VR legs, sometimes we talk about flying or racing or even just like running or using a different locomotion system that might make your stomach upset. These are normal things to encounter. But one of the things that Sony's certification process does is make sure that things are running at a fast, fluid frame rate so that it doesn't make you sick. These games, I'm going to say, I'm betting a lot of these games are not going to run at a fast, fluid frame rate in VR, and we're going to be like, and I'm totally fine with that, man, because that's all part of this. That's all part of the freedom that Dreams is offering, and the freedom to say, hey, you know what, this isn't recommended, but by all means, if you feel like checking this out this way, go for it. I like that.
Right. So part of the Push Square article, they actually asked about what kind of games are going to come right off the bat that is actually designed by Media Molecule. And they asked like also like what are their favorites, and he said basically like the user creation stuff is actually has been some of his favorite things to play. However, there's going to be something which we saw a little bit in the VR trailer called Inside the Box. And what it is basically a modern art space that you wander around, but then there's some traditional games that you stumble across in there that have like more like tactile gameplay and things like that that really showcase VR. There's like shooting galleries and stuff like that, shooting galleries, puzzles, and different things, and that's going to be really cool to take a look at. But the Arts Dreams, I forget the specific name. That's actually not going to be playable in VR, and he basically said that, it wouldn't feel right. It was going to be a lot of work, so they just created something that would just be the best VR experience possible, and that's Inside the Box. So be on the lookout for that.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, this knowing what we know now, and looking back at this trailer that we're running here, the Dreams VR trailer, it's suddenly a whole new world of possibilities. We're looking at this thing and going, we were going, oh, everything's probably going to take place in a really small room, or everything's going to be, just
Right.
just this or just that, and we're going to have all these limitations. But looking at this now and looking, oh, there's like a fucking first-person shooter, and the dude's running around with full locomotion, and just thinking about how I want to change that into a horror game. It's like, like screw first person shooters, man. We were playing the PT trailer earlier, and it's these are the things I want to do right away. I want to jump in. I want to play their first person shooter. I want to go play that PT game or PT recreation. Like this is just absolutely incredible, and it's just infinite possibilities, especially knowing what we know now. Real quick,
Um,
can we talk? Can we give a shout out here?
Yeah, Robbie B, the English Game Cat, with the 2 donations, says pretty sure AJ's VR legs are untouchable. I have pretty strong VR legs, man. But I will say I have been rocked before. Um, there's been some games that released early and they were very buggy. And speaking of the frame rate thing, so be very, very cautious about if you get motion sick easy, definitely maybe don't dive into the deep end right away. And if you ever experience anything, immediately stop and do something else. So I haven't experienced motion sickness myself, but I've heard it is terrible. It is not just like, oh, you feel dizzy. It
You've
is
never
like
gotten it from anything?
I've never gotten it
No
from
game,
any.
nothing. Holy
The,
crap!
the closest thing was Darkness Roller Coaster when it was like buggy
Yeah,
and like the screen was flashing and it was doing everything it could, and it basically felt like I got beat up by a ninja. But I didn't actually get like ill for an extended amount of time. But also Danny Parker says, AJ, I just noticed $5 donation. Thank you so much, man. Says, AJ, I just noticed you remind me of Bam Margera. Have a nice day, guys.
yeah.
Thank you. I guess.
Is that something you've heard before?
I have flown out of a shopping cart once or twice. That was a long time ago. Joe Grover, the effing game cat, with the $5 donation, says creating VR content in VR is going to be insanely cool.
Yeah, that is
And that's
excellent.
something they did. They did touch on that. That not only will this benefit, the players, but the creators as well will benefit from some additional tools and being able to get inside and really feel the depth of the level when you're creating in VR.
Yeah. As far as I know, there's some conversations happening here about motion sickness in VR. I mean, it's happened to me so infrequently, but I'm not immune by any stretch. I remember Robinson the Journey at launch on the base PS4 threw my stomach for a loop. Even Here They Lie at launch for some reason. Neither game does it to me anymore. It might be because of the Pro. It might be because the games have been patched. It might be because I've got experience in VR. And then Golem. I think was the last example where I think it was the control scheme itself. I was just like, this is really, really uncomfortable. And after a while, I was like, oh man. And you're right. It's not just, oh, I feel dizzy. It's my stomach feels like it's being twisted in a knot. And then you're like, you can be laid out for like a whole day afterwards. So I saw some people in the comments saying, if you start to feel sweaty or uncomfortable or like you're going to throw up, get the fuck out of VR and give yourself a break immediately. You don't want to risk because the longer you stick in there, man, like the longer those side effects are going to hang out.
PSVR Jack says, just saying goodbye to my family. That's kind of how I feel. I'm like, I've got a life I'm supposed to live. I've got bills I'm gonna have to pay. I don't know what's gonna happen here, man. So moving on. Um, let's see here. What else we got? So moving down the upload article, this is to the point. There are smart and optional keyword comfort settings. So for those, they will have comfort settings for you if you are more susceptible to that kind of thing. But he says in terms of like his favorite kinds of games, he says there's a few sort of open world puzzle games where it's a nice environment, but sort of a Myst or games of that ilk. And yeah, so like he's recommending you check out these like kind of just beautiful environments, that those are going to run the best. Me personally, I don't know if you've had any time to research any games. The first ones I'm going to try, there's this snowboarding game called Alpine Dreams.
I give up.
Somebody's already made one.
I want to play the Bloody Roar game. Where's
Dude,
my Jet Moto?
Are you reading the chat? They are saying Wave Race 64.
Thank you. Wave Race is a good game. Thank you, chat, for showing AJ what a good game is.
Somebody else said, what was that? Hydro Thunder. Somebody was saying that.
Okay.
These could be really fun.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, for sure.
I think that's what makes it great, is just the endless possibility of all these different games. I myself there's a Sonic adventure game that somebody made, and I'm like, dude, I want to be Sonic in first person and like run up a loop or something like that. That sounds amazing.
Gotta go fast.
But yeah, he does say like his favorite personally are these beautiful environments that people have created where you can explore, and there's like puzzles and things like that. So I'd be totally down with that. I'm sure there's already some amazing ones.
Yeah. What do you think? We were having this conversation yesterday after this news broke, off camera. What do you think this is going to do to indie developers who are bringing us games like Throw Anything, and because every time a game like that comes out, we get comments inevitably on the channel that say this looks like it was made in dreams, and they say it pejoratively.
Right, and in some cases, like no offense to the developers, but like Coaster. Like people were like, I'll just wait until Dreams gets support. I mean,
yeah.
Think of all these roller coaster games that don't live up to the, at least just standard that we have of providing this fun, like thrilling roller coaster, or just something that's scenic. And that's just an example of how, this is gonna potentially cause an issue for some really, really small teams. But maybe if they're more of like passion projects and stuff, who knows? But like you said, maybe it'll put some more pressure on them to create something bigger.
I think it'll put the pressure on small devs to make something better, or deliver something that couldn't be done in Dreams. But I think more importantly, it's like, well, fuck those guys, right? People who aren't putting the effort in, and I don't want to make this sound wrong, because we love small dev teams. I highly doubt that even if separation could be made in Dreams, even if it could be, I highly doubt that someone's going to come up with the art design and the imaginative puzzles and just the brilliant way it was executed. Like, these are all things that, like, when people say that looks like it could have been made in Dreams, my first reaction is fucking do it, because game design is way harder than you think it is, even with an awesome game creation toolkit like Dreams. And so so actually creating these things, just because it looks like it could be created in Dreams, doesn't mean that it's not a good game because of that. It just means that because it's got a basic art style or something, and that's what people are trying to convey. What I think this is going to be great for are people who want to be independent game developers, or like budding designers, people who want to show off their skills, but they're like in school, or they've got a full-time job, and then this is kind of their side passion project. And we're going to finally see the things that like those people have been wanting to share with the world for years. And I think this is going to be amazing for that, and it's already being amazing for that for the rest of the non-VR flat screen world. But now it's going to bring all those people to us.
For reals.
So good. I just tore out my heart and put it on the screen, and AJ was like, for reals.
I to be honest with you, I had something in my head.
You weren't listening, I know.
It totally left. Well, I know. I think it was Lipnock said he wants to play that Fallout 4
Yeah.
recreation. I don't know if you saw it. There's so many that I know of. Oh, that's what I was going to say. When you said, people that want to be game devs, this one that I mentioned, this Alpine Dreams, this guy was like, I have no previous game dev experience. I never really wanted to do this before. I just did, and I think that's going to be the cool thing. Is like that's one of the benefits of this game. A game like this is um, it will create people that that never had any idea that they wanted to ever make a game, and it shows them how to do it, gives them the ability to. And yeah, we're going to see some really, really special things. I mean, I've played a lot of the flat version, and I've definitely seen some very, very creative things. Like there was like this marble madness, like kind of like platformer and stuff that was like incredible. There was also like some kart racers and things like that. But so one of the other surprising things is that there are no extra limits how you can build. So going back to that point, there's no limitations on the amount of space or room that you can use. It's literally just like the full thing.
Yeah, and that's insane. And I think one of the things that they said was the reason they didn't want to put limitations on is because some people want to make non VR creations, but they want to make it in VR. And so why would you want to put limitations on something like that? And I thought that was incredible. That's them saying these people are just gonna they're thinking about everybody and how everybody wants to create, and how everybody wants to make things. And I think that's ridiculously awesome. And I think we also need to get caught up on some of these tips that are rolling by.
Yep. Danny Parker with the 5 donation again. Once again, thank you so much. Says first thing I'll try out is House of Beavis.
Is that a thing?
I'm guessing so. I haven't heard of that one yet. Joe Grover, the FN Game Cat with the $5 donation, says drum kit with 3D rudder for the kick and hi-hat. Will Brian finally have a use for that controller? I think not.
I think I might have thrown both of mine away.
Jordan Wood Gamer with the $2 donation says, where's the PSVR update and Dreams on PS4? The update is going to be happening tomorrow, the 22nd, which is Wednesday. And they do, but they are doing a stream here in the next 7 minutes where they're going to be showcasing the very first gameplay. I'm guessing we'll get a look at inside the box and a couple other things. Now, in terms of the rudder, they actually also mentioned that if there's enough demand for the aim support, that they will add that in. So I've created a petition. Brian's created a Twitter thing, a Twitter poll, and we're basically giving them that feedback. I highly, if you guys can, in our Discord or wherever you can, make sure you go sign up for those, and we're gonna let them know that there's tons of demand for this. They also have on their forums. This is something that we need to make more aware, because honestly, they have forums themselves where you can have feedback. They have polls, but nobody's aware of those yet. They have, ours. We've already got over 500 plus votes and counting. Please remember to go do that. Share it with everyone as well.
In the last 12 hours.
In the last 12 hours, they've had an aim controller poll out, and it has 11 votes because nobody knows about it.
Right.
Same with the 3D rudder. The 3D rudder has 25 votes, and I think actually the 3D rudder could be a pretty cool mix with this game. I mean, being able to create something unique out of it, I think could be pretty cool. I'd love to make some kind of like surfing or back to wave race or something like that, having your feet on it. But another fun fact, we're going to keep moving because it's almost showtime.
Yeah, we're running out of time here.
So you can make makeshift local multiplayer games. That is one that completely blindsided me. To be able to create local multiplayer games. There's not a lot of VR multiplayer games that are really great. I mean, we've got like Playroom. I think Angry Birds 2 is pretty good. But other than that, like really the list is not very long. So it'll be interesting to see what people come up with, as well as one of the most significant things about this is after VR, they plan on actually working on multiplayer next. So I think there's an awesome roadmap. Shuhei Yoshida has actually said himself that they have like a 10-year plan for this game. So also going to have PS5 support, obviously.
Yeah, they had said during one of the last interviews, they had said that they already have it up and running on PlayStation 5s, which is brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Right.
Because I mean, just adding more possibilities and removing more limitations is everything that creators going to want.
Yeah. Danny Parker
Well,
with another 5 donation. Thank you so much, man. He says, "Sorry, I correct myself. How's it, Beavis?" And that's definitely a thing. It's incredible. Very cool. JLS, will there be a sale anytime soon? Dreams has been on sale constantly. I bought it at full price, but just for just for the VR support, really. But it's if you follow my Twitter or whatever, like I do repost that every single time. In our Discord, we also have a deals section, so make sure you join the Discord in the link down below. We also have a dreams section where we are going to encourage you guys to tell us your dreams. Or share your dreams with us so we can play them, maybe showcase them during the week at some point. I really want to, get some spotlight on those who take the time and effort, which is a lot, to create stuff for people.
yeah, this is going to be a huge deal, and we want to make sure that people are aware of not only Dreams VR itself, but we also want to spotlight the creators who are really making awesome things in VR, or things that are awesome that can also be played in VR. Whether you're a game cat or whether you're just an awesome PSVR gamer, that's hit us up on the Discord, share your dreams, and yeah, I think we decided that we like to start sharing them every single week and making sure that these. I mean, with all the people creating stuff in Dreams, it's going to be easy to get overlooked. It's like releasing something on the App Store, right? On iOS, it's like fucking forget
Right.
it. You're 1 in 100 million. So if we can start tracking these awesome creations down and sharing them with you guys, and well, I mean that'll make my day. I'm gonna be very excited to see these things.
So, one of the other things as well says there's new gadgets for putting things on your head and hands. He says what, and they say this article's from Jamie over there at Upload. What's up, dude? And he says, what's the first thing you ever did in VR? I bet for a good chunk of you, it's put a hat on your head. Maybe you were in Cole Phelps' office in LA Noir. Yeah, actually, he's right about that. I definitely was messing with the suits and stuff. So there's a new head tracker gadget specifically for that. So if you want to put quote, so if you want to put some big horns on there, or an elephant trunk or whatever, that becomes really easy, Healy says. And that also benefits the non-VR side things too, because it means the non-VR sticks to the player camera. That is one thing I'm interested to see. I'm guessing, you have this little imp, and that's what you use to control like basically anything. And whenever you want to play a game, your imp possesses whatever the main character or whatever in the little dream is. And so I'm wondering if that's how they did it, was just whatever your thing possesses, it becomes first person. And like I said, we've only got 2 minutes to find out. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, they also don't have any pre-roll going on their YouTube channel or their Twitch channel. I'm assuming we're gonna see this on Twitch. So man, I'm just gonna be refreshing this page here until we see something pop up.
Yeah,
Like
actually, you're right.
It's gonna be any second.
Yeah, I think they only have a twitch.com/media molecule, and we'll be streaming it here. So if you don't have Twitch, no worries. We can stream for you. What's up, Dave?
Yeah, thanks for the big welcome, guys. How's it going, everybody?
Good, man. How's it going?
Not too bad. Getting ready for this thing. Is this going to be on Media Molecule's website or Sony's website?
Looking at
YouTube
Twitch
or
right
whatever?
now. Twitch has it scheduled,
Okay.
but the roll isn't up yet.
So I am super, super excited. Dave, you excited?
Oh, absolutely, man. Especially after that big, not a leak,
Reveal.
but the thing that revealed yesterday on Upload VR. Everything they said was like, "That's what I want. That sounds awesome. That's stuff I didn't even know I wanted."
Yeah.
That now I am excited about. And like, I can't even believe everybody assumed there would be some limit, or that like there'd be certain games that you just couldn't run in VR, and they were just like, "Nope, you can do whatever you want," and that's pretty incredible. I mean,
Yeah.
no, I can't wait.
Yeah.
So
So
I've got this weird hope. Sorry, I've got this weird hope that like I hope that they start giving us more and more control over that kind of stuff as time goes on. I'm sure out of the box it's going to be a little bit different, and we're just going to see stuttering frame rates. But I hope that they eventually there's sliders that say just like that we can just like lower and lower and lower and lower the resolution until the frame rate's like super slick. Did I say frame rate? It's lower the resolution until the frame rate is slick. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, they said they had dynamic resolution shifting, so it may automatically do that in some
Ooh.
cases, which is pretty cool.
Nice. That is very nice.
So yeah, they do say it's twitch.tv /media_molecule, and I'm on the page right now as well.
Yeah, I'm
It
just
should be
refreshing. Nothing's happening yet.
Yeah, it should be starting any second now. And as soon as it does, we're going to throw it up on the screen for you guys
Actually,
to see.
I'm going to switch over to that, and so we can just we'll just sit on the top of the screen for
We're
you.
just going to
guys.
stare at the screen.
Yeah, well, so at least it'll be ready, so you guys don't miss anything. Cause I don't
Yeah.
want to miss a thing.
Please don't.
But what? Why don't you guys like singing with me?
I love singing that song. I don't want to fall asleep because I miss you, baby.
Oh wait, what is it?
Yeah.
Oops, some music was playing. I don't even know what that was from. That's crazy. All right. So this is the Twitch page here. Hopefully we will see something happen very, very shortly.
They're just like us. They're
Running late as
late.
always. We were running early today. I was so proud of us.
Dream Bubble says PSA, charge your Move controllers for tomorrow. That's right. Make sure your Move controllers are charged. There are going to be games with DualShock as well.
So you can control what control scheme you want people to play with. Huh?
I'm wondering about that. Hopefully that's something we'll find out here in just a minute about. I definitely want to know. Let's see. Still nothing yet. Come on, MM. Let's do this.
Now I want M&Ms.
So ready. 5 July 21st. Or no.
You're looking at the schedule. Is that what?
Yeah, it's 5 p.m. BST.
Yeah.
That is 2 minutes ago. So they're running a little behind. No worries. David Moore with the $4.99 donation says just popping in, but wanted to say Dreams hype and F and Dave Station is here. That's right. The whole gang's here.
Yeah, this
And we
is my
got you
lunch
guys
break,
with
guys,
us.
so this better be good.
I think it's going to be great, honestly. I'm really, really excited to see this.
What do you guys think? I know a lot of people are excited about trying to figure out when this thing is actually going to drop. Do you think it's going to drop at like a midnight thing? You think it's going to drop tomorrow at noon, or when the store usually updates? What's your guess on this?
It depends. I wonder if it's going to be a patch or if it's going to be an optional install.
That's a good question.
Because there are some people who don't have VR headsets who probably don't even care to install it.
There's a few, yeah.
So it might just be a thing where you can like go to the store and click download it and then it adds on the VR support. If it's a patch for everybody, then who the hell knows what time patch is going to go live.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it goes through the store, I would expect like tomorrow at 11 a.m., something like that.
Right. It being a Wednesday kind of throws me off. I would usually, because if it was like a Friday, I'd be like, midnight. But let's see. Robbie B says, what does Mark think about the AIM response? We haven't acknowledged it yet. We did talk to the community forum member, or like one of their community mods, and was saying like, it's best to use our community forum because we see like in-game stuff. And I'm like, dude, there's 11 people that have signed this. Like, that's ours is actually more accurate because we have a 3-year plus built community that want this. And I realize that they're trying to keep out internet noise. But that being said, like, what do you qualify as demand? You got to imagine the people that own the game that would want AIM support. And then you take what's on the internet, that's already cutting down the amount of people, the accurate representation of the people that would want this kind of thing. And then, when you filter it into there, it's even less. So,
right. So in other words, make sure you follow Without Parole at Parole Games on Twitter. Go hit up that poll that I posted last night and vote yes that you want AIM support. Let's show these guys that we are the PlayStation VR community and that we have a voice and that we want to use it. Also, AJ, I don't know if you want to put the link to your change.org petition in the chat, and then maybe people can go over there and sign that as well. We can combine all these things together and then go.
It's on my Twitter at PSVR Underground. It's on my channel at PSVR Underground. It's on Reddit in the thing. It's in our Discord. So there are several ways. It's a huge link. I don't want to post it in here.
Okay.
But yeah, we are still waiting for this, for them to get going here. We totally know what it's like. We've been late many a times, but I'm so excited, man. I'm so excited to see just the first look at gameplay. Obviously, looking at it on flat screen isn't going to do it justice, but I'm interested to hear more details. I'm sure they have some more. While we wait, I can go through these articles some more and get some more facts since we have some more time here.
Drop some news on us.
But so you can actually create items in the game, and they say, they want people to protect their creations, and you can do similar, just like how a company would protect their own IPs. They basically said that you can make names for stuff, and let's see. So
the gist of it is like, if you want to make a lightsaber, don't call it a lightsaber, because we're still subject to some copyright sharks, because like Nintendo at some point is obviously going to come through and be like, you can't be making Mario games in here.
They already shut down one guy that did like a super big like recreation of Mario.
Here's my suggestion, guys. Do Super Mario World. It's a Lady Mario.
There you go.
You can do this exact same level layouts. Just change the main character. Don't make Toads in there. Whatever. Change a few little things. You could make your own Mario.
Yeah. When you do something, change it just slightly. Sonic Adventure.
Yeah, Sonic Adventure. That would be I don't think Sega cares, though. I don't think Sega would come after people. Like, there's VR.
Nintendo is really the biggest, the most protective of their stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, because imagine having like any Nintendo game on PlayStation now. Like that's that's pretty big for us.
Yeah, I mean, actually, Sega's kind of the opposite. There was a guy who was making custom Sonic levels, and they hired him to make Sonic Mania, and that was one of the best games they've made in the Sonic franchise in years.
I remember that. Scott Justico with the $4.99 donation says, PSN Harry Fella here on holiday in 3 days. Can't wait to start playing everyone's dreams. Hashtag PSVR Game Cap for life. Man.
So just to be clear, during the stream, whatever, I'm not going to be hitting Tree Guy if you tip.
Yeah. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Watch now, baby. Let's watch.
Enjoy the show, guys.
Yes. Are we working? Are we live? We're working. We are. Sorry about that, everybody. Hello. It's because we haven't done a VR stream before, and we're doing it from my house, which is actually a building site. Probably you can see because I've put some green cloth behind me. And just before the stream started, everyone decided to not work, of course.
As is tradition for us. Perfect, absolutely fine. But we're here now, and I think we can hear. Can everyone hear us?
At the level
Can everyone hear John? Can everyone hear me?
We can hear you.
Can everyone hear the game?
But you can't hear us.
We can hear you.
John, a bit quiet. Yes. Streams. Yes, we can hear. We are all good. Tom is a bit muffled. I think that's because I'm actually just speaking into my laptop. John, can you turn me up just a little bit?
I can turn you up a little bit. I think that's this one.
I like how scrappy this stream is. This is like
audio.
Our streams would be just like, it's not working. Let's fix the audio.
I should now be a bit louder.
Good.
Hopefully.
I'd like
Let me know.
your voice, Tom, so it'd be good if you were that.
Yeah, that's better.
Let me see if I can join their chat to help them out.
Okay, cool. Game audio is a tad loud, John.
Okay, I shall turn that down.
So turn the game down.
Bear with. There we go. I've never had to do my own mic and volume levels before, so new experience.
I have a feeling this isn't going to be a specific like 1 hour presentation
right?
or like
do everything ultimate
time thing. I think he's just going to kind of run with it for as long as they run with it.
Tom and Ollie and Lisa.
So I don't know how long this is going to be.
Oh God. Easy. Right, John.
Hello, Tom.
Today we are here to showcase a little update coming to Dreams tomorrow. right? I think is it tomorrow? It's happening.
Tomorrow, I believe it's happening
Yeah.
tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, you should know.
I think so. I think that VR, virtual reality,
Virtual
PlayStation
reality.
This guy's
VR
hamming it up.
support is coming to Dreams tomorrow,
Unbelievable.
which is quite exciting.
It's a tiny bit.
July the 22nd, we will be releasing as a free update to anyone that owns Dreams and anyone that will own Dreams in the future.
So generous.
The update that will add VR support for Dreams, so that will feature a bunch of new content, the ability to create your own games and experiences in VR, a bunch of new how-tos, loads of features, as well as also other features that are available to people that aren't using VR. So the update isn't just for VR players. There's a bunch of stuff there for new users. We will be launching it around midday tomorrow, I think.
Yep.
Don't quote me on that because people will probably be like, no.
I'm quoting on that.
I'm
Yeah,
fairly
it's
certain
midday
it's gonna be-
tomorrow.
Midday, you know, time for lots of different places. So.
Everybody write that
Yeah,
down.
a midday. It's all going to happen UK time.
Okay, cool.
Keep an eye on our
UK
social
time,
media.
midday
Yes,
tomorrow.
UK time is important. BST. Keep an eye on our social media. We will let you know. There will be some server downtime. So for a couple of hours, a couple of hours or just under, you won't be able to connect to Dreams.
Yep.
Because it's quite a big update. It's quite big.
It's quite big. But it's also really good, even if you don't care about VR, there's lots of cool stuff in it for you, which we'll go through today.
Yeah, exactly. So John's going to run through. It's going to showcase a few of the bits and pieces upcoming. We won't have time to go through everything today, unfortunately.
So I think that kind of confirms that it's not.
but
a separate
we also don't want to
download,
ruin all
it's
the
just an
surprises,
update to the base
No,
game that
because
everybody gets.
there's gonna be
They're
some
talking
cool
about
stuff.
non-VR
So,
stuff in it
John,
too.
Hello.
we sound good. We've gone through the initial hello and welcome.
These tools can be used.
John, what
for
we're gonna look at
non-VR
today?
people.
Right. So I thought first I would show a very small teaser of some of the content that's coming from which is really awesome. But it's very small. It's not going to spoil anything. Just the very start of it to see people. Oh, okay then. And then I'm going to show you how the Dreamverse has changed a little bit to accommodate for the VR projects and stuff everyone's going to make, which is really exciting. And then we're going to show what's changed in Create Mode and some of the cool new features you got for both VR creations and non-VR creations. So there's going to be a bit for everybody. And then we'll perhaps have like a bit of a Q&A. And we'll kind of have a Q&A as we go along. You know, feel free to type in questions. Tom will relay them to me. And yeah, away we go. So, going to go up to Dream Surfing, and we've got Dreams VR inside the box. So, since it is a VR project, I'm going to don my VR headset, my PSVR. So obviously I might be taking this on and off during the stream. Just bear with, because we haven't done a VR stream before. So I've tried to make it as slick as I can. So here we go.
It's got the little VR mask in the
I'm
top
going inside Dreams.
So you're going into the Dreamverse.
Into the Dreamverse. Okay. I have read the safety instructions. It's not green screen.
You can see it.
It's all an
Oh, look at
illusion.
There's John's house.
It's not. It's not my house.
Yeah, Johnny, you're over 12 years old, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Just about.
Yeah.
Just about. Okay. Here we go.
I'm already so
Right.
excited.
Very first
Look at you.
So
Is
I'm
he okay? He's
Oh,
using
everyone's
moves.
like,
yeah, he's moving
yes.
moves. It'll be cool.
Should I use the move controllers or should I use
Yes,
the
moves.
DS4?
No.
Killing it. Killing
Oh,
it.
John.
I should remember. I'm going to go for DS4.
Come on, man.
But it works. It's important to say that this content we're about to look at works both with the DS4 and the moves, VR, non-VR. We tried to make it as accessible as
Show
possible.
us the moves
The
then.
moves, man.
Yeah, exactly. So
teased
we had a few questions on social media earlier about like, should you be excited for this update if you aren't? If you don't use VR, then yes, absolutely you should. Because all these games are playable. There's some new features in there. You can look at our roadmap on Trello for a bunch of like rundown of the updates. We will have full patch notes for you tomorrow as well. For those that want to be up to date with all the know-how.
I'm going to try and not move my head around too much so people don't feel...
You've been mastering this art, haven't you?
Yeah. But like,
Looks so awkward him doing this with the DualShock bar.
it's so cool seeing Dreams inside VR. It's really hard to explain, and it's obviously won't be coming across very well on a 2D screen that everyone's watching
Oh my
at home.
god, that's gonna look amazing.
But just so you know, those cubes up there are really, really big. Like they kind of feel like skyscraper big almost, you know.
Yeah. That's so cool. I remember seeing, I think Ollie was showing me a bit of this a while back, and I was just like, oh my god.
So we have a whole bunch of different options. So I can look around, obviously, with just by turning my head, as you'd expect in VR.
I'm signing into
But
Twitch
we've
and telling
got a
them to
whole
go back
bunch
to
of
moves.
options, to help you and how you like to deal with VR. So here it says, in options, there's my preferences to edit comfort modes, switching between teleporting or moving cameras. So if I quickly just have a look, just so I can show you some of the things we've got. So you can change the vignette strength, dream shading menu, allow low frame rate. So this is if the frame rate is really low, it might feel bad, but you're just like, it's fine, I can deal with it. I've got cast iron stomach, static sky, etc. So there's a whole bunch of cool things. And in Dreamverse, you can say whether you want to look at VR content, not look at VR content, that kind of stuff. So there's a whole bunch of cool comfort settings for you to play around with to make dreams as comfortable as possible for you. Okay. At the moment, I've got no comfort settings on. I'm just like hardcore. I can deal with this. I can walk around and look at
So
locomotion.
I didn't see a movement speed for the
You
full
are
locomotion,
as the wind.
unfortunately. It seems like he's moving kind of slow.
Breathe.
Wouldn't that be up to each game?
It's probably.
I'm actually just pressing L1
Maybe.
again,
I
but it
hope
looks like
so.
it's coming out of my mouth. I can see it all blowing.
We might see John B's breakfast without. Oh yeah, your breakfast is in there, isn't it?
It may be in there somewhere. So I just want to point out a really cool thing that Mark Healy did is when you touched up here, you can almost feel the texture of the thing you're touching. You have to ask him on Twitter how he did it. It's really cool.
Yeah. Oh, what with the vibrations and stuff.
I mean, it
Yeah.
looks pretty clear from
I
here.
really love something really cool about VR that you can sort of look in and look at all the details that you just wouldn't really sort of
Yeah,
look
that's
at
the
before.
thing. Like actually being able to look at things.
Everything
Like
feels so close to me. It's just like I can reach out and touch
one
it.
of the things I'm excited for people to do, like see, is like almost like meet their characters face to face.
Oh yeah. It's something else, I can tell you.
Does anyone else have the chills? I'm so excited right now. I can't even.
I'm very
Is there an option
excited.
to snap player rotation to certain degrees?
Look
as
at
many
all that.
VR games have
Oh, I
started
heard
doing?
about this. Yeah, it's
Yes,
just like
that's
a
actually
gallery
one of the options you
space
have.
where
So
all
as I
their
press left and
little
right,
things are
I can either
located.
look smoothly, or one of the options is for it
Mini
to
games
snap
inside.
in increments, which is it really helps. There's all kinds of stuff. So you have to have a fiddle. I won't go through it all, but there's a whole bunch you can customize how you want. Anyway, so I thought that's where I'd leave it, just to show you a little teaser that we've got a
Wait,
whole bunch
what?
of cool VR content.
That's
on
all
the
he's
way.
going to show us?
Look
Yeah,
around.
so we have a bunch of playable sort of experiences that you'll be able to check out tomorrow. That are under this whole sort of inside the box
Show us part of one of
like
them.
title that I think you're all really going to enjoy.
Yeah, I think
So
so.
we just wanted to show you a quick little bit before we showed you a lot of more of the other stuff.
Wow, what a
It's very
tease.
exciting.
Right.
There was a lot of excitement in the chat, John.
Excellent. That's good news.
A lot of excitement.
I thought
Okay,
this was going
I'm
to be
going
kind of
to
a game
leave
showcase,
this then.
not just like this is what walking through a door and then getting into a room and not playing anything
And
looks
I'm
like
going
in
to take
VR.
VR off for a second, and we're going to go
He's trying not to spoil anything, which
Actually,
I
I'll
can
leave
respect, but
VR on
just
for
spoil
a
it,
second.
man.
Just-
There's a billion gajillion games.
Just
Game, yeah, like it's
Dream Ship.
show anything
I'll go
in
to
VR besides
my
walking up the
stuff here.
staircase.
I want to show you how you can set your level to be VR compatible, basically.
Ultra
So
classified
essentially,
dream.
everything that's already been published on Dreamverse will be marked as, over here, will be marked as not non-VR. If your creation is not designed for VR, players in VR will not see it, unless affected by your filtering preferences. So even though stuff will technically work in VR, like if you've got, say, a camera mounted to the front of your car, and you press play and you put your VR headset on, you'll be driving around as if you're strapped to the front of your car, which is terribly exciting.
Yes.
May make you feel a tiny bit queasy. But there's a whole bunch of create options we've put in to help you make your gameplay more VR compatible. I mean, chances are it could already be perfect, but equal chances are it will need some work for you to do. Once you've done that work, or you're satisfied that this will be good for VR, you can mark it as VR compatible, which is really awesome. If it's VR compatible, it means your creation can be played both in VR and not in VR. So a bit like our game, the Inside the Box, that can be played in both VR and in VR, so it's been marked as VR compatible. Some stuff you may only want to be VR only. It's been very specifically designed for VR. and it won't be shown to players who are not wearing VR. Again, unless it's been affected
These
by
are the
their filtering
tags.
preferences. And of course, if you're not sure, you can just mark not sure. So these are the 4 options you've got to mark your stuff up, ready for VR gameplay interaction.
I like
This
that.
is really exciting.
Make it easier to
So
figure
I'm
out what's
gonna
good and what's
leave
not.
that, leave all these projects, and I'm going to start something fresh. You probably shouldn't look at those. Just pretend you didn't
super top
see any of
secret.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, everyone, no one look at the stream right now for this moment.
Avert
sure-
your eyes.
Yeah. I'm sure everyone won't. If we ask nicely, everyone would look away from their screen for 2 minutes.
Of course. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bit in VR and a bit outside of VR. The reason being, it probably looks, as I move my head around, it's probably going to make everyone feel a bit queasy. So I'm going to do some in, some out, so I can show you some of the cool features. Okay. So there's some new gadgets I want to talk about.
You
So
get
look,
it.
we have over here, hopefully everyone can see that, we've got
The
a
head.
head camera tracker.
Nice.
I'll talk about this one first. So it's so fun looking in VR. I can't even explain how awesome it is. This gadget essentially gets stuck to your head. It's obviously not stuck to my head at the moment because time's not running, we're not in play mode. And if I sort of look at it from the front, you can imagine that's your eyes, you know, so you can sort of see how your scale is to the world as well, which is quite helpful. Now, what's cool about this is this acts a bit like a group, a bit like, say, the puppet group or any other group, that you can actually make something. So let's go to
That is
Sculpting.
too cool.
And
Stick
like
that on the head of anything.
a cone. And you can scope into this gadget. So scoping in with L1 and X like you would do anything else. And so you can see they're grouped together. So if I go into play mode, can you guess what's going to happen? That's right. The box, the cone is in front of my head. It's like it's strapped to my head. I can still look around, but it's just there. Which is really nice. So you can make yourself some sort of in-game HUDs and stuff like that for your head. When not in VR, it basically does the same thing. It's stuck to the front of the camera screen, whatever the current active camera screen is. So again, really good for making HUDs and UI and things like that. Your own custom ones. Super awesome. Let's have a quick look at its tweak menu. So tweak menus, by default, they open up in world like they do, but they're still like stuck to my head. So you can see I look around slowly and it's there, but as I move, it moves around with me if it's one of these pinned ones. You can say be in the world like you would expect, but the pinned ones, just so they don't make you feel a bit nauseous, they sort of stay stuck to your head. Okay, right. So let's have a look at what these options are. We've got movable when not following, which basically means it like drops to the ground when it's not strapped to your head. It's cool. Visible, fairly self-explanatory. Follow head in VR. So if I turn that on, and I go back into VR, you can see it now. It's literally wherever I look, which is a different kind of feeling for making a different kind of like heads-up display or interactive
Can make some cool
interactive
HUDs,
element.
like a space helmet or something.
The scale. So this is quite cool. And the only way I can really explain this is if I go into play mode, and it may not show very well because I can see it because I've got depth. If I move down, and you can see that shadow that I'm pointing at down there, and as I get closer to the ground, you can sort of see it sort of intersects at about that section there. But if I change the scale, because you're like, well, that's really annoying, I don't want my UI or my HUD that I've just built bumping into things, you can adjust the scale of it right down. So to all intents and purposes, I'm actually inside of it now. I've made it so small, I'm inside of it. You can make it smaller, so probably on your screen it looks exactly the same. But to me, it's much smaller and much closer to me, so I can get closer to things without it intersecting into it. So it's really useful for adjusting where you want your UI or whatever it is that you're strapping to your head to appear. Hope that makes sense. Okay. We've also got follow player's head. That's just saying whether it is or not. We have a whole bunch of outputs here. So we have the look cursor, So if I turn that on and quickly go into play mode, I'm going to get rid of the cone actually because that's making me slightly cross-eyed. Okay. So I now have this, it looks like a cursor, like a laser popping off into the distance. And this acts very much like how the laser scope acts as one of our other gadgets. And you can make this hover over things and detect things. So that combines along with, go into gadgets, a new sensor type we have called the Look Cursor Sensor. So if I stick that on something, I'll just open up its tweak menu. You can see here,
I am
hovered by
hoping they
cursor,
show a little bit of the move
sense look,
creation here, because
and
he's
show
still using the
quad visual.
DualShock
So
4.
that's on by default.
Yeah.
So now if I go back into play mode, and I can look at things, you'll see it detects when that cursor goes over things. So this is really good for sort of gameplay where you're like, you want to know whether you're looking at something or not. So maybe you're going to do this and look at something invisible, so you know you're looking one way, and then change the entire world behind. So it's like one of those like scary things where you look at this and you turn around and go, "Ah, everything's different than it was before."
Yeah.
One of the myriad of uses, but I'm sure you clever creative people out in the community can think of even cooler things.
ASET, sorry, John.
Oh yes, go. No, hit me.
ASET was a bit confused about with how you had the cone. You say it might look the same to us on screen, but it would look different. I think you said it looked different to you.
Oh yes.
Could you just a bit of like clip? What did you mean by that?
So initially when I had it, it looked like a bigger cone further away from my head, but in terms of degrees, or field of view, it took up. When it came closer to me, or when I changed that scale, it basically got smaller, but also got closer to me. So it took up the same view space, but because I've got depth perception with VR, I could tell it was smaller and closer to me instead of bigger and further away. So it's basically like, imagine you've set up your awesome heads-up display. You're like, oh, this is ace, but you've somehow built it like a mile away from your face, yet it's all like proportionately on the screen in the right place. You're like, oh man, it's a mile away from my face, so like this tree is getting in front of it. So then you can adjust that scale to bring it closer to you, and then it's not out in the world getting stuck into things. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense.
That makes it a lot of sense.
Okay. So there's the cursor range and fall off. It's very much like the laser scope, and all to sort of consider players and whether it's hit things and hit positions and orientations, very similar to the laser scope. And again, all the labels. So that's really handy. You can make all kinds of cool gameplay to do with looking around with your VR headset, which is one of the coolest things you can do in VR, I'd say. Is like look around. It's like, oh, there's that over there. Cool. It's really great, and it just helps you gamify that. In addition, that all works non-VR in essentially the same way, except it's just stuck to the camera. We have another gadget, and it's almost the same, apart from this one acts as your hand or hands. So again, you can sculpt something and stick something in there. So in fact, I'm just going to switch over to moving controllers. Bear with, because I don't know where anything is when you've got the VR one. There we go. That's smooth, very smooth. Let's sculpt something. By the way, sculpting in VR is like just amazing, mind-bending tool.
People were excited to see you using moves.
Yeah, it's so hard to explain that it's something you've really got to sort of experience. But for example, just to show you how much advantage it confers to you, is before, if I was at this kind of view here, and I wanted to put this ball right on the back of it, because I have no depth perception, usually it'd be very hard, but I can actually go like this, and I can put it there, and I can tell, just because I've got depth perception, that is about at the back of the gun, and as I turn around, you can see how close I got it, even though I was dead on and couldn't actually see. So it's amazing, the sense of depth it gives you. It's just, it's just something you've got to experience, really. So I won't do much credit, because actually, from your point of view, it probably looks like I'm just doing normal John Beach credit, apart from the camera's wobbly. So obviously I've made like a weapon of some kind, and I can just scope inside this hand, and I can put it inside the hand. And this arrow here lines up with essentially this laser here that's coming from your imp. And so now if I go into play mode, I now have a little weapon, and I can kind of look at it. And the great thing is in
Damn, he made that weapon in like
because you can
2
do your pinch
minutes.
zoom, I can actually sort of like pinch myself up. So now I have a tiny little gun. I don't know how well that comes across, but I now have a very tiny gun, or I have a gun that's like about the size of me. It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
And imagine if they get the aim support on there,
Let's stick that.
being able to attach it to the aim,
I'm going to turn off
examine
the
your weapon and stuff.
that, so I don't want the floor glowing all the time. Let's quickly stick on an emitter. So everything that you would have done before,
I think it's a really
essentially
good thing
works
that
the same way.
they told
We haven't
Upload VR all that stuff in that
revolutionised
article
create mode in that sense.
yesterday, because if
Everything
I
you've
only
learned,
had
all
this
the cool
as my
bits of
preview, I would
gameplay
not be
that
nearly
you've,
as hyped as I am.
devised for yourself, it
after
all still
that-
works
that
in the same
article.
way. So
They're
Right.
not even
Hopefully
really
you won't
touching
have
on any of the
a problem
awesome
sort of
stuff that they
adjusting
described
to-
in that article. They're sort of just like,
Well, they're going through the
VR
tools. This is
creates-
pretty awesome, but this is
cool, but
what Dreams
Guess
is
what that's going to be.
from the creator standpoint.
Your emitter.
yeah, I'm not a creator, so I was hoping more of
That's-
the player standpoint. But
I mean, but
It's
look
really
at this.
intuitive as well.
Look at
Yeah,
this
it's
gun
just
thing
so
he's
much
making
easier
now.
to
This is
line
pretty
stuff
interesting.
up.
Right. And as you can see in the chat, guys, like people who are familiar with the creation tools are freaking the fuck out, saying this is amazing.
Yeah.
So you know,
Once.
so it's really
But
good for
it's not a flashy thing, but it is a cool technical breakdown.
Yes.
right.
What is he putting on here? What did he? I missed what he put. What these gadgets he's putting on the gun?
Remote control.
I think he's making a trigger for it.
And then I'll say get R2. Let's test that out. There we go.
Wow.
So Lucid is asking, do you
Dude, he did
prefer
that so
Move
fast.
or DualShock 4 in VR?
Both the same as when I was out of VR. I used to like using both for various things. So I'm one of the constant swappers because I do quite a bit of art, but I also do quite a bit of gameplay. So I mean, him here, it's really cool because it feels like you've got two hands. It feels so natural. So I really like that. But I mean, it depends what experience you're making, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's I mean, that's loads. Tat was asking, why is there now a laser coming from the imp tip instead of just using the imp tip as normal?
So.
Oh, sirens! Sirens!
Sirens on their
Wait,
end.
why is there sirens going off? That makes no
Sirens
sense.
on Media Molecules end.
It's almost like being back at MM again.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the laser scope. I wonder
Yeah,
what
that-
the chat's saying about sirens now. I wasn't showing the options inside the hand. So inside the hand here, there's a whole bunch of cool stuff. So you can set whether it's your primary, your secondary, left hand, right hand, wireless controller, all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, I know
Fit to
Daniel
left-handed.
Williams is a big. He uses
Follow
Sculpt
players
VR.
in. Using motion controllers. So there's all kinds of stuff. The using motion controllers is just like outputs we have. So you can
Roland.
have an output which is like, I'm detecting that whoever's playing my game is using motion controllers. Let's wire that into my motion controller specific gameplay. Okay. On here, here's the laser, so you can override the laser color, so you can have lasers like different colors. Red is pretty horrible, and you can decide whether you want it to be visible or not. So the reason there's a laser is so you can grab stuff, if that makes any sense at all. Let's remove the gun from inside of it. Let's sort of see what I mean. Let's kill that. Die. So if I put like a little block, something to grab, make that movable and grabbable. Interaction grab, movable. Put it over there somewhere. So I use the laser to reach down and grab things like that. So you can set the length at which you can grab things. So at the moment, I can grab things quite a long way away, and then you can manipulate it around. You can also reel it in. So on the moves, I can.
I hear that
Hold.
genetic blasphemy. This is incredible. The amount of
swear
stuff.
on left, I can never remember
This is,
about
this
it.
is like
It's
every
muscle
single
memory.
tool and
And
some
you kind of
new
twist
ones.
a bit like how you scale things up and down. So you
Look
can
at
reel
that.
things
It's the
in,
don't knock
which
twice
is also
hands.
conversely how you do things when you're in edit mode.
I mean, this is
Exactly the
BVR,
same. So
but you
if
get
I'm
to make
making
the
things,
worlds.
I can reel stuff out,
Right.
scale it up like that.
So that,
I
yeah.
hope that makes
This is
sense to
crazy
everyone.
good.
Yeah, and I guess the implementation for this with VR was just due to the nature of creating in VR, right?
Yeah,
Like-
absolutely. Yeah.
Look at this.
Um,
Oh,
One thing I want everyone to try when they eventually get their hands on this tomorrow, eventually, is especially with the moves, because you can sort of scale yourself down. Is to like go into sculpt mode. Just turn the mirror off for a second,
here we go.
and then like dig yourself a little tunnel. So it's really small, but because you can scale yourself in, you can go inside of this tunnel. And now, I'm not even
Jeez.
joking. This tunnel, I'd say it's about 6 foot tall at the moment. But I just got to keep scaling myself. Now it's about 30 foot tall, you know,
What?
and it's really cool. And you can just sort of go around and make yourself like a little cave system. It's really fun. It's like being like a, I don't
He
know,
wants
what,
you to burrow.
a mole or something. And I'm not sure what sort of
Tomorrow, everyone burrow.
digs under the ground, but whatever it is, it's awesome. So I'm in my little tunnel. I feel safe in here. It's like my little nest.
I love this
I
guy.
mean, it looks
But
like
everyone
it
should
looks like a
definitely try
legit
this.
cave. I mean, look at that.
It's
Yeah.
it's something you can't really experience in non-VR. It's going inside something. Anyway, enough of that nonsense, John. Enough of that nonsense.
Look at that, and that's all it is.
So again, the imp hand over here, that works in non-VR, and it kind of follows your imp around in like a cool way. You'll have to sort of try it to understand what I mean. And when I jump out of VR, I can show you. So they're two of the really cool new features. There's some other things to talk about, which I really like. Some people have asked me on the various social medias, what if I go into my world and everything's like really big or it's really small? You can adjust the scale in a couple of ways. So on the camera, you've got VR scale here, so you can make everything feel ultra small or ultra big. That's really handy. It's by
So you
default
can just
1:1,
adjust it
so
on the
if you've
fly
actually
like
built
that.
your level 2
That's really
scale,
cool. I like that a lot.
meters and whatnot, it should be the right size to begin
They
with.
did say some games will not instantly translate the scale
And
properly,
that
but
setting also exists on the controller center. So in here, you've got the VR scale there also, which is really cool. So you can set your puppet to be the right size. So like, I went in and my puppet was like 2 inches when it should have been 20 feet. Then you can adjust this and it will feel the correct size. It's really handy. What else is going on here?
can you believe that Move controllers are like hitting their peak 10 years later?
All the cool new
They're
features we've
peaking
got
right
just
now.
been sort of added and put in. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to show. In the Quick Start collection,
Ooh,
if you go to Contraptions, there's a whole bunch of cool things from the kit that you can use. Some of them are really handy. So, for example, the inside the box contraptions, there is a hand pre-made for you with all the sort of right settings on. So if I snap that into the world,
Oh, cool. So they're not just
They load.
pre-made hands. You can make the
I
hands
have
look like whatever you
a
want.
pair of hands which I can
That's
do
cool.
stuff with.
You can customize those.
Make myself the right size. So that's really cool. So I can grab stuff, and pull levers. In fact, pull in levers. Talking of which,
wow.
yeah, press lever to pull. So then display mode, and all this stuff just works inside of the box, as well as outside of the box.
There it is. He said it. He said it.
He said it. He said it. So that's really good. So you're going to be able to make loads of cool gameplay. Play inside the box first and see what we've done with it, and then that'll give you some cool ideas of what you can make with all these kit pieces. They're really, really cool. Some of the team have made some really, really cool things. I won't show them all because I don't want to spoil it for everyone. There's a whole bunch of great things. There's a first-person puppet. That's not the correct first-person puppet. That's the standard first-person
John.
puppet.
Goodness me.
John. Box blaster. There we go. So this one has like the blaster weapon here. Again, similar to the hands, but it's pre-made. Pew, 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 pew. It's really nice. It's got some nice little animations, little counter they can sort of eye up down there. And this can affect certain things depending on what it is.
Wow. So it actually
And all those
it
kit
moves the
pieces
lever.
are in that kit already, which is great.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see people just stick their levels in VR. I've had a sneaky look at some things in VR that the community have made, and they're like super cool. Obviously, I've used my special MM privileges and stuff, but you'll all be able to do that tomorrow. It's super cool, honestly. Like I'm just like, oh, whoa, oh my god, like the whole time.
Someone in the chat asks, what about items we can pick up in VR, like a can or a cup? Is there logic for that? I guess how would you?
Yeah,
what's the
yeah,
best way?
absolutely. So the hands that I just showed you a second ago, not a second away, possibly the easiest way to set that up to begin with. So if I just stick a cube in, not delete it, John. Stick a cube in and make it movable, make it grabbable, and then I get the hands. The hands are going to go. There it is. And we're going to play with.
There'll be more than just shooters, John
Just
Boy
be able
Dojo.
to grab onto it.
There'll be
like
puzzle
that.
games.
And that little black thing
Just
is
anything,
that's just
man.
like the black laser to see where you're sort of actually grabbing it from, because I grab from a distance. It makes sense when you're playing it, it feels correct. If you actually go up to it and you set the limit to be less, you can physically grab it by reaching your hand out and grabbing the bit of the item you want to grab. It's cool, so you can just manipulate the box, throw it away. So that's the easy way to do it, and I won't necessarily go into the complex way. But if you have the hand tracker, it has options for like where you grab it, basically with the imp, follow grabbed item, stuff like that. Has it been grabbed? Yeah. So this is where you would start if you're going to make your own custom grab logic. But the hand is a really good start, though. In fact, what you should probably do is get the hand and look at how this has been done, and then from that point you can then make some.
All of you creators in there in the chat that are freaking out right now, make sure you guys send us your dreams. Join our Discord. We have a dream section. Make sure you post your stuff and share it in there.
Yeah, someone's asking, can you grab with both hands
at the same time?
Yeah,
I don't actually know. No, so the left hand looks like it hasn't been set up for grabbing. It's in this particular case it's set up for pointing. But I think it probably, you'll have to check on that. It probably does work. I actually haven't tried it. So.
It won't be long until someone makes it happen.
Yeah, of course.
Will it?
Of course.
I think that's one of the things. I think as soon as everyone has access to this, some of the things that are going to get made very quickly.
Absolutely.
Are going to be incredible.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's like how much time? Where are we out of time? Because it feels weird.
It's 5:45.
Oh, cool.
A couple of questions if you want to.
Yeah. Hit me.
So Neon the Coder asked earlier, can you use the scale as a way to scale objects without keyframes? As in, can you make the tool not follow the head? I don't know. You might need some more clarity on that.
I'm not entirely sure what you mean. I don't think so. I mean,
yeah.
No.
Actually, Stump 1090 asking about a left-handed setting.
Yeah.
I'm righty, but I'm just curious about that. We are actually implementing an accessibility feature in the update for left-handed players to switch the palettes around. Let me link you to our the Trello card that details that in a bit more. What's the word? What's the word I'm looking for, John?
I don't know.
Bit more detail. Clarity, yeah. Hold on one moment. Let me find another question for you, John.
Hit me.
With Action Recorder, can you record the head movement?
I don't believe you can. I don't know. I don't think so. Is my honest answer to that. Again, it's not something I've tried, so I imagine not, because you can't go into the head in edit mode. So I'm just going to say no.
I'm asking if the VR version is affected by Pro support.
No is the answer. Unless someone knows better. in MM, and they're just going to like be messaging me now, like, of course you can, John.
Yeah. Wait.
I mean, you can move the head around like that, and I imagine when you go into play mode, I imagine the stuff that's stuck to it would be like zipping around in front of your face now, which is probably not good.
Can I make Bloodborne in VR?
You can
Of
animate
course you
things
can.
inside your head, like, you know,
Somebody
put
will.
like a box in front of you like that.
A collab.
You animate that because it's like floating around inside your noggin for some reason.
Hmm.
Who knows what kind of like crazy gameplay you make it. So yeah, it's like having a flying kind of face. Oh my god, someone has got to make like an angry wasp simulator.
Oh god, yeah, you're
Because then
flipping
you
it.
can make the sound come from like the left ear and then the right ear, and you're like, yeah. That'd be so good. That'd be just someone's. I mean, it'd be terrifying, but it's definitely what someone's got to make. Helping you out there with the ideas.
I do want to see that train that he made.
I'm just catching up on the chat. Sorry if we're missing some of your questions. There's a fair few of you watching.
Of
So I'm just
course.
trying to keep-
I mean,
keep up.
this is really cool, and I know I'm just showing you the sort of boring thought.
Yeah.
In fact, I should just start like adding some cool art to it while we're talking.
Fummy Lone Wolf asks, how do you prevent people from making creation that is making people sick in VR? Any preventative measures? Is it hard to make a game that keeps the user from getting sick? So we're actually implementing a load of labels and experience ratings with the VR update, where people will be able to rate their experience with it. That I think, John, you showed at the beginning.
Yes. So I haven't actually shown the rating. All I've shown is how you rate your level, whether it's VR compatible or not.
Yes,
But people
of course,
who play your game, if they've played your game in VR, they can press the options button, and there's a little icon here. It looks like a VR headset with some question marks, and you can click on it, and it gives you 3 options. One being, this is totally user-friendly. It's the least nauseating VR experience ever, like for beginner VRs. There's number 2, which is for VR users who are experienced but aren't like hardcore. They're just like, I've used VR before. And then there's 3, which is like, you know, it could be anything. It could be like a roller coaster or something like that. So that is controlled by the people who play your level. So if you've made a level that's particularly vomit-inducing, you'll probably get a lot of 3 ratings. And if you've made something that's very nice and calm, you'll get a lot of 1 ratings. And that's up to the community to rate on that. And you can say, like, don't show me that. I don't want to. You look at it and go, this is a level 3 rating, and you're like, oh no, reverse.
I'm failing.
I know it's so weird because, like, for me, what I'm seeing now looks like the most amazing thing ever, and for everyone else, it just looks like, oh, John's just like sculpting, you know, popping down some
It looks
props.
pretty cool.
I cannot state how unbelievably cool this looks to me right now. I mean, it just, it's mind blowing.
Sorry, John. I'm just trying to catch up with the chat.
That's okay.
I'll just I'm sure people are just enjoying seeing you create
Mm-hmm.
in VR, you know, because that's what we're doing.
I mean, I'm really looking forward to making my train game VR compatible. That's like my number 1
That's your
goal.
plan.
Did you see
That looks
that?
so cool.
No.
He's got this train that just goes
You got to pick them up
and just loops like, and it goes really fast.
Nice.
And that was my
Eddie
first
asks,
thought.
is there a new way to rotate things with moves in this update? No, the main create experience remains the same, right?
Yes, essentially, it's subtle because you're rotating things the same way, but it just feels so different because of the depth. Like it's so intuitive. It's really hard to. I mean, it's really something that you sort of need to experience, but it just feels amazing, and it feels like it's totally unique. Even though it's the same, it feels familiar. It's completely different at the same time, and it's mega. It's just mega.
3D print object button. It will be
It's
interesting
gonna
to
be
see how
much
they
easier
can
to make
publish
things
these.
upright as well, because you've got depth perception as well.
Yeah.
Oh, another little.
Oh,
no,
John, you go.
In
No,
paint mode, there's a new cool feature called stretch. I almost forgot to show it. So you can see how they're circles, right? I just get my eyes really close to them so you can see. One of the new options here is called stretch, which does exactly what it says on the tin. It
This is
stretches them
crazy, man.
in the direction of the paint stroke, which means it's going to be easier to make
Fog and weather effects. And...
paint strokes that are either more dense or cheaper, because you can actually like stretch them out and then turn down the density and look the same. So it's really good. It's going to be really helpful to make your paintings look much cooler. Anyway, sorry, you were gonna ask a question there, Tom.
Someone was asking about how easy will it be to make your existing creations VR compatible. And I was just sort of saying it's more just having an understanding of how the new gadgets and tweaks and systems work, really.
Yeah. So essentially, if you go into any of your levels in VR, all that will happen in the simplest terms is your VR head will go to wherever the camera would have gone to before. So in the case of, like, say, an RTS, it would look like I'm above the sort of like arena you've built, looking down on it. And it's really cool. I mean, that's, you know, it kind of does what it says on the tin, but the world might look really, really small or really, really big. So you may want to just adjust the
So
scale
it's
of the
going to just
camera.
put you where the
You
camera
may want to not have the camera zipping around.
would usually be.
left
So
and right. You
first-person
may want to
shooter would go
introduce your own
first-person.
method for moving to make it a bit more VR friendly. But in the simplest terms, everything you've made so far is just going to work in VR. Like, it's just how
So
well you want it
some
to work
people
to be
will
tailored
have
towards
to-
VR.
Some people will have
And
to,
then it's
like
just
the
a question
racing
of
ones,
setting
they'll have to
your-
put the
your
car,
preferences, so it can be discoverable.
they'll have
by
to put the
people.
VR
You can say,
camera on the
I've
car
looked at this.
to be
I'm
first-person.
happy this is VR compatible. I think the world is going to love it. My genius knows no bounds. Change that to VR compatible. People are playing. Go, oh my
I
god,
love
this
this
person's
guy.
genius knows no bounds, and it will be VR compatible.
Hmm.
I'm going to shrink myself down now, so I'm the size of an ant. I am now an ant.
I can't imagine
You
how
can
that
actually
works.
see,
Right.
probably if you're looking at my my real
That's
face,
pretty cool.
the John Beach
I like
face.
that.
Right. I mean, he
To
was
look
using
at
a bunch
that
of
one
like
now,
pre-existing
look
assets
right
and stuff,
up
but
vertically, and
even
that
just
sort of
copying
gives you
and
an
pasting
indication
them
of how big it is.
to make that was just
It's like,
incredible. It was
wow.
so fast.
And it's so big, those blades of grass are massive. Whereas when I'm like normal size, or not normal size, when I'm like in ant mode, like I'm looking at the top of it now, you know, and now I'm looking at the bottom of it. It's like there's not much movement, so you can see how small I've made it. And you can make it even smaller, where it's like now it's, I would say it's about the size of my hand. So now I'm looking at the top of it, and now I'm looking at the bottom of it, and you can see how small my head moves. So it's really cool to like mess around with scale in Dreams in the VR pack.
All right, I'm just going to. I just had a question that I answered. And I forgot. Yes. Another thing that's worth mentioning is that there's some people asking about like sort of the process of making VR games and like how will they go about it. We will also, something that we forgot to mention at the start is we are including a load of new how-to videos and lessons in the update that will hopefully educate and inspire those that want to get started. And as always, you're right there, John.
Yeah. So the tutorial team, have made some really awesome stuff.
Yeah, and they will. They'll definitely be there to get you started and help you on the right way. So that one of them is best practices. There's top 10 tips for making things in VR. And with the kits, we're as always with MM and what we've done in the past, like our kits will be the best place to start because everything there will be suitable for VR games.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the inside the box is really cool because we got loads of people from inside MM made sort of little bits for it. So one bit that I'm really proud of just personally is, apart from my breakfast, which features in there hilariously, is I built a cool robot basically. And I think you've seen it. It's been shown in the trailers. And it's because I'm renovating my house at the moment and doing lots of, building work that I was like, I want to build like a mech, but instead of guns, it's going to be like a forklift mech. And I went to town on all the details because you go right up to it, it's huge, and you can like look at all the bolts and stuff, and it's really fun to just sculpt in Dreams and then look at that item around you. And you can either have it like on the palm of your hand, which is really cool because I'm like, wow, look at the mech on the palm of my hand, or have the mech like huge and go, wow, look at this bolt that's on the mech on its foot. You know, people are going to have so much fun just making their sculptures in VR, and I can think of so many that are in the community already that we've seen, that we featured on the streams, that I just want to look at in VR. It's just a whole new experience. Everything that we've seen before is suddenly new and fresh.
Game changer.
It's gonna
Yeah,
be great.
it's gonna be amazing. I'm fully expecting to see like new creators come in that have obviously been waiting for VR and sort of enter dreams and experience everything that's already there, as well as making their own mark. It's going to be amazing.
It really is.
It's gonna be amazing.
It really is.
So we have got 5 minutes.
Okay,
I just wanted to run over everything that you need to know. Sorry we haven't been able to answer all the questions today.
There's a lot.
Tried as hard as we could. But we put up on our Trello, which I'll put another link into now, which has a bunch of the details on what's included in the update tomorrow. It's not everything, but it's like the big sort of what's the word? The headlines. So that includes everything for VR as well as some of the other features. So tomorrow, 22nd of July, our VR update will be coming out. We will be starting our server maintenance some point around 11, 12 midday BST. Keep an eye on our Twitter because we'll keep you updated on when that's happening. During that time, you won't be able to access streams. The servers will be down. Which is only going to be like the third time we've had to do that since like beta, which is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Pretty amazing. So shout out to that. That's amazing.
He just
We'll
made
then
a
let you know
HUD.
when the update is available. There'll be a bunch of the tutorials and all that stuff will be on InDreams. There's some new InDreams features coming tomorrow as well. The ability to leave comments on InDreams is releasing tomorrow, which is awesome.
That is amazing.
It's so good. As well as
The
an
ability
edit
to release
mode,
what?
an interactive edit mode guide. So yes, keep an eye on InDreams for that tomorrow. We will release patch notes for VR when it's out. And when that launches in Dreams, you'll be able to experience playable content from us at which is called Inside the Box, which we gave you a little sneak peek of at the beginning of the stream. And then all of these new create features, as well as all of the new Dreamiverse editions, preferences, and all that amazing stuff. I want to give a massive shout out to Media Molecule as a team because they've brought this to you in extreme circumstances. This was obviously we were working on this for a long time, and then we had to switch to working from home because of everything going on.
Yeah.
So much love to the team because it's been incredible to watch this happen, and it's all down to them. They are amazing. They're inspiring.
Can I give a big shout out to Shuhei Yoshida as well, who's been
Shu.
our VR champion cheerleader
Yes.
throughout the
For all
entirety
of
of
us, man.
streams.
For real.
And if it wasn't for Shuhei, Dreams would not have a VR update. So I just want to be like, Shu, you are just
Wow, that's crazy.
I'll clap for
Every-
that. Absolutely.
Everyone
Single-handedly
tweets at
responsible
you when you're
for
playing
the,
in VR.
VR
Yeah.
update. Thank
I'm
you,
sure
Shu.
they'll-
amazing. The power. So yeah, this it's just the best. And
This is
It's
it's been a massive, and we know it's been a massive something you've waited for a long time. So thank you for your patience.
yeah.
So yeah, when you're playing tomorrow, think of the team.
Yeah, so think of the QA department. you
Think
know.
of Shuhei being happy.
Think of, there's too many people to thank. Everyone is
Yeah.
amazing and they really worked hard to make this happen.
Yeah, so well done to them, and well done to all of you for everything you're going to do with it as well. Because
Oh wow, I can't wait.
I know that by the end of tomorrow, there's going to be something that we're all going to be looking at in our various group chats, going, "Oh my god, how are they doing that?"
Yeah. In fact,
It's going to
I
be
just want to
awesome.
see like the stuff you've already made. Just spend a bit of time and make it all VR awesome. Just, like what's that? There was a racing game that was just tectonic.
Tectonic,
Make
dude.
that
That's
VR
one of the ones I
compatible so can
mentioned.
race around the city
Yes.
and collapsing. It's
It's
be
like
great. I
Motorstorm
want to see that UI
Yeah.
in VR as well.
and Alpine
Yeah, that thing's
Dreams.
amazing. So thank you very much. This was a real short glimpse at what's possible, but obviously you literally have less than a day to wait
Yes.
until this is out, so it won't be long. If you've got any questions or anything, do tweet us at Media Molecule. We'll try and answer as much as we can. But until then, John's going to end the stream in a minute.
Oh yeah, we've got to end it
we
a different
will
way this
try.
time. So
Does he know how
It's
to
all,
end
it's
it?
all to you, man. It's all down to you. So
Shock.
we will chat to you tomorrow. Have a great evening or afternoon or morning, wherever you are around the world.
That's amazing.
Stay safe. Continue to be as lovely as you always are. We love you lots. Thank you for watching. John, hit that end button.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Oh man.
Holy crap.
Oh my god.
Dude, okay. So first of all, right?
That was such a tease.
That was such a
tease.
It would have been so much cooler if they started with like him dicking around and like making the guns and do, and then you know doing the copying and pasting thing and then saying, let's check this out. Like let's show you VR stuff
Right.
and then actually like go in and show like a really creative world. But that's not what they want to do. It seems like they really want us to like experience this for ourselves tomorrow, and like they didn't want to ruin any of that. So I got to give them a little credit for like, you know, not blowing their load too early.
Yeah.
They
You
could
know-
have given us a little, what's the word? I'm not going to go down this analogy line with blowing. Yeah, you know what I was going to say.
I know what you're gonna say.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So you know, so the important thing is I think the reason they showed that camera placement is because that's going to be important, right?
Mhm.
Some of these games like Tectonic, Alpine Dreams, the two that I'm looking forward to trying out the most. I mean, I'm looking forward to trying out like every
Okay.
single.
I'm
thing I
gonna
can
bring
possibly-
Tectonic up on the screen.
PT, yeah, please do. You got to take a look at this. PT, that playable teaser, the recreation of PT, that's already in first person. So we're going to be able to jump in and play PT in VR right away. There's already some haunted house stuff, Brian, that I think you would really, really like. But the things that are like the kart racers, some of the early creations, they are third person. So it'll be amazing to look around in that world. But it's going to make all the difference. All those creators have to do is go in there, take the camera placement, put it on the actual thing to make it first person in VR, and then publish it. And then boom, it's updated.
Right. Maybe
for
adjust the
VR,
scale a
ready
little
to go.
bit, which they showed off and said. I mean, how crazy is it that it's just a slider? Right.
Right.
Yeah, that's wild.
Really crazy.
I'm really excited for this first week or so where all this stuff exists and you can play it in VR, but people haven't actually optimized it. So it's just
Right.
like the Wild West. Like you could
Right.
load up PT and realize, man, this hallway is huge. Like I feel like I'm in a coliseum. This is massive because the scale is not, designed for VR. So I'd like to see, it'll be interesting to see how many already just click even before anybody does anything to them, and how many take like significant tweaking. But I think it'll be fun to see like the freakish sort of afterbirth of this in terms of before people update their stuff for VR. There's going to be some weird stuff to look at in the meantime.
S. Doran is in the chat and says, "Wow, thanks for featuring Tectonic." Man, we've been our community is very passionate, and they've been hitting me up left and right about this Tectonic game. I think Void Citizen was, and the first thing we saw was like, this looks like MotorStorm. So this and Alpine Dreams, like I said, are a snowboarding one, are two that I'm very, very looking forward to.
What is it called?
Yeah.
Alpine Dreams? Is that what you said?
Alpine Dreams, yeah, that's another one I've been looking forward to. Like I said, there's so many, and we really want you guys, all of you creators, we really want you to please send everything. What's your email, Brian?
Withoutparole@gmail.com.
Without
We'll
parole
post
at
it in the-
gmail.com. If
Yeah,
you
but-
want something, and we plan on doing like featuring a bunch of dreams, like pretty much every single week. So
Yeah, definitely.
you can guarantee we'll give you time to get these adjusted and everything. But we definitely want to.
We're not giving you time. Get them fucking done and get them sent to us
We're-
ASAP. Tomorrow, I want to get 100 emails from 100 different dreamers out there, and I adjusted mine for VR. Please feature it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait to check all these out.
Louis C says, "I made the PT remake. Can't wait to see it in VR." And have
Lou-
you? Have
he's
you
here.
seen too?
The dude that made the PT
Oh, that's
remakes in
awesome.
our chat.
That's incredible.
Looks like we got a lot
Dude.
of creators here, man.
You're my
It
new
is
favorite
so-
person. I can't wait to check that out in
Yeah,
VR, dude.
good
Really-
work, Lewis.
Yeah, really, really excited to play. We're gonna play all of your guys' stuff, and just cannot wait. It is so exciting. This is huge for us, man. This is like game of the generation worthy stuff right here.
Hey, shout out, by the way, to Whitticus, that one game cat, for the $2 donation during the Media Molecule stream. He said, someone please make Portal in VR. Yeah, absolutely. Please. Please do
That'll
that.
be cool. Yeah, there's so many. I've played it kind of recently, but yeah, I mean, like you said, the beauty of this is like this is just the beginning, right? The VR update hasn't even dropped, and there's already some content for it. And then once people, they'll start out by being able to play it in VR, and then they'll further optimize it. And when you were talking about optimizing Tectonic for the drops and stuff, like, don't worry, like, we can handle, at least I can handle the
we want
crazy
this
stuff. You don't have to make it like too safe or anything. Like, we like this kind of stuff. So
I'm showing off Alpine Dream, by the way, now on in the corner of the screen. Dude, that Tectonic looked fucking professional. Like, it is amazing what people are creating, and now it's going to be amazing to be able to check this stuff out in VR. I can't, dude. You can't. Why would you make a snowboarding game, AJ, if Alpine Dream already exists? This looks incredible.
I saw this. I ran into this by accident, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I was like, "Yeah, there's like, man, I might not even have to if somebody's already got one."
I think you're covered. This looks amazing.
Yeah. So I'll definitely be playing it a bunch, but yeah, it looks damn near like SSX and stuff.
Right. I know a lot of people are going to be at work or whatever when this thing drops tomorrow. Depending on when it drops, they did say midday, but then they're in like England, right? And so midday for them is like early morning for us. There's a 6-hour difference. So we could, and of course they were like, don't quote us on midday. And the second they said midday, we're like, we're quoting you on midday. So if it comes out, whenever it comes out, I'm going to download the patch immediately and I'm going to stream. Doesn't matter what time of the day it is. It's probably going to be a couple hours of me just exploring and trying to see what I can do. I'm not going to really create anything during the stream. I'm going to do what we kind of hoped Media Molecule was going to do today and just play a bunch of games in VR. I'll check out the Inside the Box and all that stuff. So if you're not able to check out it for yourself tomorrow, just ignore your job and watch me while you're at work.
Yeah,
that sounds like bad advice when I said it out loud.
Oh yeah, amazing. Canalupus says the Fallout remake in VR. We mentioned that before. There's that Fallout thing.
Do we know the extent of that? Because I saw like the garage and some of the exo armors or whatever they're called in that game.
It's been a while. They did it really fast.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah. Some people saying Simon and Preacher Plays. What's up, dude? Talking about like Beat Saber. Finally get those custom Beat Saber songs and maps that you've always wanted. I know somebody's going to do it. Let's see who else we got here. I'm definitely freaking out. BMX. I cannot wait for this. This is going to be amazing, man. The extent of this support is probably the biggest surprise to us. And then you got to remember, after this update, their plans are to work on multiplayer next. So, like you said, the team is a little limited right now due to everything going on in the world, but it seems like they're still working on it. And then, after this multiplayer, then we've got PS5 potentially down the line. So there is just so much promise here and so much to look forward to. And I really think this VR is the next big step and going to breathe new life into both the game as well as our community, which has already been growing like crazy lately. So it's exciting times. I am so stoked for this.
Yeah, Dave, what were your impressions? I feel like AJ and I have been dominating this conversation.
Yeah, you have. I was actually going to say something, but then you guys steamrolled me, and I didn't get to say it, and I can't remember it anymore. So I don't know.
Payback's a bitch, isn't it?
Payback is a bitch. What did you say?
Just giving you a hard time.
Dave,
yeah,
good.
Right. It looks cool. I mean, I was pretty underwhelmed with the actual presentation because I don't know anything about the creator tools. The creators in the chat were going crazy, which makes me excited that we'll see good things to come out of these tools.
Right.
But I was really here to see some of what it's like in VR, and I didn't see any of that. He walked up a staircase and he stood in a room and he said, "Okay, that's it. No spoilers, guys." And that was the end of it. Now, they did say on their Twitter the other day, like, we're going to show off the create mode and a little bit of gameplay of VR games. So they did kind of prep people for it to be more create mode. But then at the same time, the stream was just titled like, check it out, Dreams in VR. And so people just tuning in, it's like, where is the gameplay? That's how I felt. To be honest, I was kind of tuned out because that's not really my wheelhouse. A couple things sounded interesting, and I like seeing him create with the moves and stuff. I know that's going to be really cool.
Once he got into the gun, once he made that gun in like 2 seconds and started firing it, and then made that environment in like just a few minutes, that environment when he scaled it down, and it just looked incredible once he went down there.
Yeah, no, for sure. It was I'm definitely of two minds with this entire stream. I thought it was incredible what they showed off. I felt like, but there was a lot of downtime for people who were just like, I want to see what this is going to be like when I experience these creations. But at the same time, yeah, he dicked around for a long time, messing around with like this triangle, and then you said he made the guns in 2 seconds, and I was like, wait, dude, you made guns in 2 seconds. Keep showing us stuff. Keep showing us how easy it is to create. For all of us who are like, hey, we're gonna hold off on diving into Dreams until PlayStation VR support. There's a lot of us out here that don't know anything about the creation tools other than hearing people say how fucking in depth and insane they are.
Yeah.
There's a huge learning curve here, so I wanted to see somebody who was intimately familiar with the tools go and just make shit like real fast.
Like it was nothing.
Yeah, and he started to do that near the end, when he was copying and pasting those environments. And it's like, but he was copying and pasting pre-existing environments. So even though that was cool, I like still didn't get a sense of like how do you show me building from scratch. But it was still cool. It was still very cool. It makes me more excited for tomorrow because they really haven't revealed very much at all. I think.
Johnny Lobster says, I wonder how big the patch will be. They said it's going to be big.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious about that too. I imagine it's pretty big.
How big is Dreams itself? Do we know? I have it installed, but I haven't even really messed with it.
I haven't checked in forever.
Yeah. I would bet it's the same size.
Wouldn't be surprised. I'm sure it's pretty big though. But man, yeah, at the end of the day, I am kind of glad that they didn't go full spoilers into the inside the box thing. Maybe not the worst thing ever. Save some surprise for us. But I did want to see some like actual gameplay from VR.
Professor...
Yeah, me too. So real quick, I just looked it up. Dreams is right now about 11 gigabytes.
Oh, that's not too
so
bad.
Even if it doubled, it would only be 20, which is like to be able to play all this stuff. That's pretty goddamn good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess most of it's like server-based, cloud-based.
Yeah, I have to imagine. I mean, I don't know if they're streaming the game to you or if you temporarily download like a config file that lets it open while you're playing it or what, but...
just in response to what I was saying earlier, Professor Lilith responds saying, hey, there are dozens of hours of tutorials showing you how to make stuff really fast. Check out the Kareem Dream streams for that. The process is clearly the same as in 2D. I might have to take a crash course. I promised people I was going to make a horror game. No, I mean, that's a promise I might deliver on sometime in the next 5 years.
You might want to shoot for like Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion level of horror.
That works.
Depending
I love
on what
Spookies.
you can pull off. Yeah.
Or just send your horror games to Brian.
I will certainly play your horror games for sure. Did you see?
He's already got the PT squeaking chair going.
Seriously, this squeaking chair, man. It's like it's the death of me.
PT and VR, man. Oh, did I see what?
Oh, at the end of the stream, he like wrote HUD, right on the screen, and then he made it his HUD.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like the HUD.
Such a simple thing, and it was just like so cool to watch him do it again, like just in seconds.
The HUD will be really cool, especially if you want to add like a space helmet or something and have like, your energy levels, stuff like that. That, when you have a VR mask on and you play a game where you're wearing a mask, it really just like fits perfectly, like detached, because you feel like you're wearing the space helmet with all your gadgets and whatever's there.
I'm wondering how much they can actually do with the HUD in terms of like, say, most HUDs are dynamic. Like if you've got a radar, it's pinging other enemies in the area and you see their little dots on your radar in real time. If you've got a health meter, it goes down when you get shot. That's the kind of stuff I'm interested in. Like, can you make a radar in this game where you see where enemies are as little dots? Does it have the functionality there? So like, it's cool to make a HUD, but if it just says HUD in the corner, that's not really a HUD. It's just a thing in your face. So I wonder if it can be dynamic and interact with the game. Like, I got shot. My HUD is adjusted because I got shot.
I mean,
sort of thing.
The ththings we've seen so far indicate that, yes, absolutely, that is the case. Like,
I imagine it is the case. Maybe somebody in the chat can tell me.
Lipnox asks, how blurry will Dreams be? That's something we have yet to see. It sounds like the frame rate takes more of a hit. But from what he could see, I know flat screen output, social screen output doesn't often represent what you see in VR, but usually you can see little aliasing, little jaggies from the output screen. And I didn't notice anything personally. So I imagine, I mean, and especially the way he was describing it, it sounded pretty exciting.
Okay, people are in the chat are all saying you can totally make a radar dynamic HUD as possible. That's really cool. All right, I'm into it.
Very, very cool. All right, guys. Well, this makes me more excited to check out the game tomorrow more than ever. Let's see. Just want to say, shout
Thank
out.
you so much, Media Molecule.
Yeah, for
and
real.
Shuhei.
And Shuhei, especially Shuhei.
Yeah,
Shuhei.
it's all his fault.
You know, we've been hearing for a long time that he has been championing VR, but to hear Media Molecule say this wouldn't exist without him specifically, you know, you look at Sony as like a multi-billion-dollar corporation, and one dude is like, no, let them do the VR thing for years.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's very cool, and that's sort of indicative of how we've like sort of heard that Sony works. You know, all the first party studios kind of get to do whatever the fuck they want, which is awesome. Sony doesn't really tell them what to do. They come up with their own concepts, and they just kind of, you know, they're very autonomous. It sounds like a really cool place to work, honestly.
John Boy Dojo says AJ's going to make Robinson the Journey too. No, but before, you know, a while ago, I was going through and searching for VR stuff, and people were making pre-made VR, like for when VR drops, to make it VR ready. And somebody did recreate the Jurassic Park scene where you like stand out of the where you first see the brontosaurus and stuff. So that
Nice.
I haven't checked in on that to see, but it was already like, it was coming along. And then I remember at one point somebody was making like Blood and Truth or something as well. So
Oh, cool.
so many cool things to check out that I just can't wait.
Right on. All right, guys. Well, I think that's going to do it for our stream today. Thank you, everybody, who tuned in today. I know, obviously, you could have watched this on Media Molecule's Twitch channel or maybe even their YouTube channel. I don't know where else they were airing this. But thank you for coming here and hanging out with all the cats. You know, obviously the best, not just the best PSVR community, but the best community I've ever been a part of. So thank you all very much. Dave, thank you for spending your lunch break with us, man. Really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And AJ, how's it going, dude?
Fantastic. Can't wait till tomorrow.
I can't wait either. All right, guys. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you to everybody who donated. Thank you to everybody who sat back and watched. We will obviously see you guys very, very soon and have a lot more information about Dreams VR. One more thing, AJ, what is it?
One more thing. Don't forget, we have a Twitter poll to add AIM support. I've got a petition both on our Twitter and and in our Discord. So make sure you join there. We have our Dreams dedicated Discord tab. So anybody that's, even if you're not interested in all PSVR stuff, if you're just interested in Dreams, be sure to join and hang out in that section. Our Discord's always booming. But yeah, make sure we let them know we want that AIM support, because I think that would be a great fit, as well as whatever else we can get.
And just before we leave, shout out to Bel Ramio, the game cat, with the €5 donation. Thank you again, guys. We absolutely love you all. Bye-bye.
See you guys.